Welcome along once again to the Star Sports video blogs, and it's Cheltenham time, and we're joined by some familiar faces. I'm joined by Claude Duval, the Punter's Pal of the Sun, Tom Lee of Channel 4, and Bill Esdale of City Racing Editor, who I see can't afford a tie despite a 33-1 nap last year.
Sorry.
Right, they're coming into line and they're away first time. Supreme Novice Hurdle, the main event kick us off on the Tuesday. Claude, your thoughts?
I was privileged enough to be with Willie Mullins in Ireland very recently, and he was very, very sweet on. It's very boring. He's going to be the favourite Vautour. He pointed out that his two previous winners in the race, one was 40-1 shot, one was 25-1, and this one now, as we well know, your distinguished firm. What do you?
11-4 now, Vautour
yes,
favourite.
We're
Strongly backed.
Not going to get any of the 40-1, I'm afraid. But no, he's a horse that's sort of, I think, been very much laid out for this race. I like Irving. He's unbeaten, but not a definite runner. He's very ground dependent, so I'm afraid rather boring, but I'm going to stick with the Mullins shot. I remember he had 3 winners on the first day last year.
Could have 4 this year.
He could easily. I think somebody pointed out he got 7 favourites in the first 2 days. That's the power of the man. As I say, very boring, but I'm going with a jolly.
Tom, he's got 2 other runners in the race. Can you make a case for either of them?
Well, for certain you can make a case for Wicklow Brave, a horse who he was very quick to nominate as his clear second best. And who knows, I mean, as Claude's just pointed out, some big price winners in previous years in the race. Wicklow Brave, what is he, 8, 9, 10-1, somewhere in that bracket?
10-1.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's going to be a hugely popular each way price. He's a horse who's very slick hurdling, will carry him into contention, and he definitely will go to the race. I was at Leopardstown last week. I watched Vautour come home in front of a very good horse in the Tullow Tank. He'll go the longer option in the Neptune, so that eliminates him. But I think the real thing I took from that was we were watching 2 very good horses as opposed to one reputation flopping. Therefore, reluctantly, I do think the most likely winner is the favourite Vautour.
Bill? Is he short enough, this Vautour?
It's very short. I mean, the question I always ask is, what price would Wicklow Brave be if there was no Vautour? Because it's the whole second string-itis of just horses being a bigger price than they should be. I was on the same trip with Claude and to Willie Mullins's, and I got the vibe that Wicklow Brave is the dark horse, and I think at 10-1 he would be the each-way play. I think Vautour's probably the better of the 2, but I don't think he's 3 times the
Well, if you think about it,
price.
if you take each way Wicklow Brave, you're getting 5-2 a place.
Yeah.
And Vautour's going to be short than 5-2 on the day anyway, so we're saying the value is definitely with him at 10-1.
100%, and I also think of the Tullow Tank race, there were a few good judges who said he didn't look great, the Tullow Tank in Ireland, in the pre-race.
I was with Ted Walsh post-race, and immediately I think that there was a real consensus between himself, Brian Gleeson, myself. We were very solidly of the opinion we'd just seen 2 very good horses, one of which didn't manage to get his head in front, but didn't
But he
lose a
wasn't
lot
at
in
his
defeat.
best. He didn't hurdle brilliantly.
He didn't jump well.
So I mean, you know, so the Vautour has been priced up on reputation, connections, and also one arguably potentially dodgy win. I mean, I do respect Vautour, but I just don't think he's backable at the price.
Well, there's one horse we haven't talked about, and we've got to talk about it because it is my selection. I need to get it on tape in case it wins, and that is Joss's Hill at 11-1, who for me has done nothing wrong. They came a mile clear last time at home in Royal Boy, long way clear. He scoped appallingly the next day, wasn't his ground, he's done nothing wrong, and I think he's a tremendous price at 11-1.
11-4 a place.
Yeah, I mean, interesting. The only thing we'd say with him is the hill. Whether, you know, we've had Nicky Henderson's had Spirit Sun, and he's had good horses that haven't quite, you know, Sprinter Sacra. You know, whether the future is
last year.
I mean, whether he's quite good enough to win.
Isn't it?
Yeah, whether he's quite good enough to win. He might be in front 50 yards from home. Whether he's in front at line number.
Well, he's possibly the extension of that point. Joss's Hill, he might be a Spring Festival horse, but the Spring Festival might be Aintree, flat track, sharp, 2 miles. Actually, that might show his gifts to the best abilities.
You're upsetting Luke now.
I just ignore you.
That's what we're here for. That's what we've been hired for. Don't worry.
Right, is anything a massive price? I'll give you one at a huge price. A friend of mine owns a horse called Splash of Ginge. Now, I was amazed as he was, and he won't admit it, that it went and won that Betfair Hurdle. But it won it in a time 3.5 seconds quicker than My Tent or Yours did last year. My Tent or Yours went straight in at 6-4 favourite for the race. Splash of Ginge is 40-1. Now, I don't understand that.
Well, Splash of Ginge actually
disrespectful.
Go back to his autumn form, and you find him splitting 2 very good horses in Creepy of Martin Keithley's and one of ours at Chepstow. And if you think beyond that, he's graduated, he's managed to go to Aintree and win, but he was so impressive the last day. Not a lot of people gave him a squeak there, huge price, but I tell you what, he is tough, and being surrounded by a lot of horses going very, very quick, that does seem to bring out the best in him, and he isn't ground dependent, Spasher Ginge.
No, not at all. So,
but probably better on with cutting the ground.
That much is fair.
I think the same goes for a lot of these.
I mean, you do get the big price horses that run well in the Supreme, and the one I look at with a terrible preparation is that Wild Blue Yonder. I mean, he's a 25, 33 to 1 shot, whatever price he is. He's fallen twice, but strong pace, held up more. He could be the one that could be the big price one that hits the frame.
Right, now your colours to the mast. I'm very much in the Jossers Hill camp for the Supreme Novice Hurdle. Claude?
Vautour for me, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm with Claude Vautour.
Yes.
I would go Wicklow Brave each way.
Wicklow Brave each way. And I'll put it in there. Prediction for the SP for the tour. So currently 11-4 with us at Star Sports as we sit here on the 21st of February. I'm going to put it in as 7-4 favourite at return.
Yeah, it's always something squeamishly unpleasant, isn't it? I'll go Bottle 2 to 1.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 to 1 too.
Yeah, I think 2 to 1 would be the. I think all the Mullins people, all the Irish will pile into this horse.
Yeah, definitely. Well, whatever you back with the Supreme Novice Hurdle, all the best luck from us at Star Sports. And you know where we are for a bet.